you don't get to hurt me and then see me hurt.
Let me tell you about this girl. Maybe I should. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brian.
Ladies, welcome back to another video. Happy Sunday. So, if my voice sounds a little raspy, that is just because I have been talking on TikTok Live all day, conversing with you girls, doing little private video sessions, as well as I went to a concert last night, so my voice is a lot raspier than I prefer it. So I do apologize about that. But as you can tell by the title, we are going to talk about how to win the feminine way. And that is covering a lot of aspects. So this video is probably going to be a lot longer than my previous videos. But y'all, we're going to be talking about how to make him obsessed, how to make him regret, how to break up with him, and how to get what you want the feminine way. So let's go. So let's jump right into it. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because I recently had to end a dating ship with this guy. And the thing is this, although I stopped dating him, there are still benefits that I'm receiving from him. And those benefits are just because he wants to make sure that I am okay. And the biggest difference between the way that I would break up with people in the past and the way that I break up with people now is the after effect from it. I have several situations where I'm not entertaining them in a romantic sense, and they still want to make sure I'm okay. They still want to make sure my bills are paid. They still want to make sure that I'm mentally okay. They still want to make sure that I can get from point A to point B. And I believe that is because I've tapped into my femininity, and that's why I said this video is how to win the feminine way. So the reason why I decided to stop entertaining this young man was because there was a lack of intimacy. And for me, physical touch is my second love language. I really think it's my first because I'm really big on hugs, kisses, sitting on your lap, cuddling, but gifts are my first. Protection and things of that nature is my first. So physical touch is definitely my second. And because we have been entertaining each other for a little over 3 months, I want to say it's 4, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was 3. And I could see that he was still living through his trauma from his past relationship. I decided that it was best because of the signs that I seen to go ahead and end everything. And that is the first tip I want to give you. With ending relationships, the feminine way and getting what you want is pay attention to the signs. Now, when you pay attention to the signs, it teaches you how to lead without actually leading in a relationship, if you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of like when you used to hear your mom say or hear somebody say, oh, he think he the head, but I'm really the head, but I let him think he's the head. That's how it is. A lot of times when you're in relationships and you know that you need to break up, you have to be very gentle about it because you don't want to hurt his ego. And a lot of women say, oh, just cut him off. Well, if I would have done that with a lot of men, guess what? There's a lot of stuff that men are doing now for me, and we're not entertaining each other. But the way that I cut him off was very gentle and very ladylike way. I just didn't say, oh, you're not pleasing me, you're not cuddling with me, you're not kissing me, so we're done. I feel like that's a very masculine way of doing it. So with me, I wanted to leave an everlasting impression on this man. And when you do that, it makes a man low-key kind of obsessed. And the way that I do that is down to the fragrance that I wear the night that I know, oh, this is our last night. So for this young man, last night was our last night. And I made sure that I had on a specific type of fragrance, right? And he was just like, ooh, wow, you smell so good. And down to what I wore, down to how I made him feel. And even the way I spoke that night was very seductive, very low, very appreciative, right? Because although it's going to be your last date night with him, he doesn't need to know, like, how do I put this? He didn't need to know that. There was no reward in him knowing, and just because it's our last physical date night does not mean it's our last time communicating. Women need to learn how to how to let things simmer out, right? And that is something that I've always practiced. And I really want to just let that be my next tip is not only do you need to pay attention to the signs, but when you pay attention to the signs, you know how to start lowering the temperature, right? It's like imagine you have on food, you have it on 7, you want to start lowering it to 5, to 4, until you have it on low where it's just simmering. That's what you need to do, because the last thing you want to do is leave a negative taste in this man's mouth of you. I don't care if he broke up, if he cheated on you. I don't care what he did. You never want to be the one that leaves the bad impression. When he speaks of you or thinks of you, you want it to be a struggle for him to come out of his mouth and say something negative about you. All right, so if the quality changes, that's just because the sun is going down. But because I've made it my mission to leave a great last impression, especially if it's a physical last impression like the date that we went on, right? Men like him still make it their mission to make sure that I'm good. Now, do you think if I would have just cut that man off and would ghost on him or cussed him out and told him every single thing he did that I didn't like, do you think that he would still feel inclined to do that? He literally Instacarted me groceries. And the thing is this, when you allow things to simmer out, it's actually a lot safer for you, because we all know men nowadays, they don't handle breakups very well, right? And so when you're allowing things to simmer out, that's not you playing a game. That is you protecting yourself and protecting his feelings and his ego. That is you also being the bigger person. And I know you might not want to hear that, but it's also you tapping into your femininity and not allowing someone else to get you out of that, right? Because being a feminine woman is not about the guy. It's about you. It's about doing what makes you happy, what makes you feel safe, right? And I know it's easy to say, well, cussing him out and putting him down and telling him everything I like will make me feel good, but really, will it? Or will it just make you feel good temporarily? Because there's a gentleman right now that is in my life, and he makes sure that I am more than good. If I can call him and say, hey, can you pay this bill? Can you take me here? Can you give me this advice? And he will drop what he's doing and do it, because guess what? Instead of me saying, you cheated and you made me your last option and you did all these things, I said, I just don't think that, we're in the place right now where we can commit to each other the way that we should. And I don't know where this is going to go, but I just have a feeling that you're not able to commit to me in the way that we both desire. That was me protecting his feelings as a feminine woman. It's okay to do that. Protecting his ego. That was me also not stepping out of my femininity and showing my loving nature inside. And also allowing him to think that he led and made the final decision, but I actually did it. And in turn, this man is always saying, I'm doing all this for you because of who you are. I enjoy the person that you are. Out of all the women that I've entertained, you have never hurt me. I don't have anything bad to say about you. And so there's a benefit in ending things a feminine way. And it makes them obsessed. And it makes them also regret, because the one thing this man does, he regrets so much. Oh, do you think we can? Maybe we should. The regret is endless. And because they regret, guess what they do? They want to go ahead and provide and lead and protect a little bit more. And I learned that from my father. Oh my gosh, my father and my stepdad. I remember when I graduated high school, my father, right, he paid for my first apartment all the way through. And then my stepdad, my first car, he paid for. And his whole thing was, I regret that I couldn't do more for you. And that was my stepfather. I regret that I couldn't do more for you, and I know I had the means, and I feel like I was so hard on you in high school. And then my biological father was like, I regret that I just wasn't there. What do you need? Oh, pay for my full apartment, So yeah, when you end things the feminine way, you're able to get a lot further. You're able to protect yourself. You're protecting those egos. And a lot of these friendships, I don't need, just because you're not my man doesn't mean I gotta put you down and dish you and go on this whole man ain't ish tour. And the old me would have totally done that. right? But that's not who I'm trying to be. You know, I want to leave that person alone. Now, am I saying, oh, I'm just this peaceful, being? No, I get upset. I get mad at things of that nature, but you don't get the privilege to see that. You don't get to hurt me and then see me hurt. Who you think you are? So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up on that note because the sun is going down. And y'all, I'm tired. I had such a good time last night with him. We will still have open communication. We won't be talking in that nature. But yeah, we won't be moving forward with dating. And if he decides to Uber me groceries or Instacart me groceries next week or do whatever it is he's going to do, I'm going to receive those gifts with a smile on my face from a man that I'm not dating. You see the benefit? You see how being a feminine woman, you can still win? All right, y'all. Have a good night. Bye.